It's here, Morgan.
What is?
The first ever NBA in-season tournament game in Sacramento. I'm going to start the right like I said tournament. 3, 2. You
Continue right now.
I don't like how I said tournament.
Nope.
Do you hear I said it though?
Tournament.
It's a tournament. I was muffled.
All right,
continue. Hold. Just trust. All right, Morgan. Super exciting day.
Is it?
The chase for the first NBA Cup. The Sacramento Kings' first NBA in-season tournament game. Tonight, Kings taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder, who come into this game at 5-3.
Wow.
First things first, NBA in-season tournament. We're going to see the Kings in their City Edition jerseys, the new court on the ground. We saw some of those new courts last week with the first in-season tournament games. I know it seems like fans have been mixed on this. Some are like, oh, this is fun. It's November. It makes me care. And others are like, why am I supposed to care? This has no meaning to me whatsoever. Where do you fall in this whole NBA in-season tournament thing?
I'm going to care until it gives me a reason not to care. You know what I mean? I think at first when I was going into it, I'm like, give me a reason to care and then I'll care. But already there's just something about the excitement around it, the floors. I do feel like players were getting up for those games that we were watching early on or last week. So again, I hope that continues, that theme continues, and I think it's good for both fans and the players.
Sabonis was saying he's excited about it.
There you go. Well, there you go.
If Sabonis is excited, we should all be excited. No, here's how I've always looked at this since it came out. It's not going to hurt the product.
No.
And I think some people aren't as locked in during the season. The best example I could use is last Friday, Oklahoma City was taking on the Warriors. Mm-hmm. I would have been watching that game anyway. I was a little more intrigued because both those teams are in the Kings group. And I'm like, okay, who's going to win this game? This kind of matters for seeding purposes and the whole fight to get to Las Vegas.
It got you.
Right? And so OKC is already down a little bit. They lost an in-season tournament game. Must win for them tonight.
Hey, if they want to get back in this one and get to Vegas.
Hey, I'm not acting like this is going to be it's going to be like hoisting a Larry O'Brien trophy.
No.
But I feel like it has a little more meaning, just a little more. And we'll see what it evolves into over the years.
I think that is totally fair to feel, enjoy, and like you just said, let it evolve. Let's see where it can go. Change can be weird. Change can be great.
Even though it's an in-season tournament game, it still counts as a regular season game in the standings. And for the Sacramento Kings, they're coming off that win over the Blazers the other night in overtime. Now 3-4. OKC is 5-3, and they look really good. The Kings will be without De'Aaron Fox and Trey Lyles again tonight. So there's a lot of things to watch. One, will we see the same starting lineup that we saw last game that featured Keon Ellis in the starting lineup? Personally, I'm fine with that because I actually think there were some intriguing matchups. I think you put Keon Ellis on SGA.
Yeah, duh.
And SGA obviously is a tough cover. He's going to get he is the ultimate driver.
You're not going to stop him, but can Keon Ellis slow him down?
His ability to get into the paint, weaving through traffic, finishing, he's really talented. Like, this is a talented OKC team. But I think Ellis with his size, 6'4", active defender, active with the hands, can be, I don't know, just a little bit annoying with him.
That's it. Slow down his game. Disrupt his game. If you can do that, then you're going to slow down the rest of the offense, right? But also, you talk about Keon Ellis starting for that reason. This is another angle. I really like the way that Davion Mitchell played, and I think he came out with a little bit more fire, and I don't know if it was because mentally he knew that they didn't like me in that starting lineup. This hurts a little bit my heart, but how can I make sure that I'm going to perform and show off my talents? And he did a little bit more of that last game. So again, there's a few different ways to go about this, but yes, mostly when you look at that matchup, that is why I would go in that direction for the starting unit.
I also think playing with Monk and allowing Mitchell to play off ball helped him a little bit too. He was attacking, knocking down a shot, all of that. So the matchup is going to be intriguing with SGA. It's like, good luck, Keon Ellis. That might not be a terrible person to put on him. I think you put Keegan on Jalen Williams.
Okay.
You know, they put him on guards before. I would put Harrison Barnes on Lou Dort. And I know part of that is like, because Lou Dort's not an offensive threat. Here's a crazy ass number for you.
Give it to us.
He's top 10 in 3-point shooting this year.
Would you look at that?
It's early. 8 games in, Lou Dort is shooting over 50% from 3. He's strong. We know what kind of defender he is, too. He's really talented. I think Harrison Barnes might be a good matchup there. And then I think you put Herter on Josh Giddey, who's off to kind of a slow start. And then you get the Chet Sabonis matchup. That's another thing I'm excited to see tonight is Chet Holmgren for the first time in person. So talented.
Before you go to Chet, really quick too, I just wanted to touch on the Josh Giddey, Kevin Herter starting on him. I think sometimes when people think about Kevin Herter, they're like, he can't play defense. What he can do, he can get deflections. He can be active with his hands. Can he get his long arms
Similar
in
size.
the passing lanes? Exactly. And with Josh Giddey, he's going to be dropping dimes. So can you make sure that you are disrupting his vision and trying to slow that down as well? Now, moving on to Chet Holmgren.
Chet is good. Chet is good. And I know there's so much talk about Victor for good reason, but Chet can put the ball on the floor. He can stretch the floor, hit threes. He is definitely a rim protector. Even rebounding wise, he has some disadvantages because he's just not a big dude, and the Kings should be able to box him out.
Correct.
But even when you box him out, he is so long, he could get his hand on the ball, tip it out, or get the rebound, tip it to himself. So he is so talented. I think the advantage the Kings have, though, with Sabonis is be physical. I was watching the game between the Cavs and OKC, and Jared Allen got him into some early foul trouble. I think Sabonis can do the same.
You ripped that right out of my brain. Oh, there it is. There's that thought. Give it back. Okay. Because that's the same thing I was going to say is the way that Sabonis needs to be so physical and just go through Chet's chest when Sabonis is especially on offense is what I'm talking about, and he needs to be aggressive on that end of the floor. We saw that it helped lead the Kings to a win without De'Aaron Fox and without Trey Lyles in that last game against the Portland Trailblazers. He needs to do that again, especially against someone as thin as Chet, but he needs to make sure too to not get frustrated, lower his shoulder, and Chet goes flying back. We cannot see him in foul trouble early.
Same with Keon Ellis with SGA. I want him to be aggressive, but don't be too active with the hands because SGA is a foul merchant.
They're going to give SGA those fouls, though. Keon's going to get in foul trouble quick.
Okay, don't like those vibes. Okay, a couple other things I'm eager to see tonight. I need a bounce back from Keegan. The shooting has definitely been an issue this year with him. His defense has been good. He was 4-17 last game. I think this is a good opportunity for him to have a good game. And that's why I've thought more about the Portland game where I was like, it was so ugly and I was disappointed.
Yeah. You were very
You had Keegan shoot 4 of 17, Monk 4 of 16. I'm like, what are the odds that both those guys don't shoot well again?
Right.
And then
in the same game,
they found a way to be, scrappy and get that win, even if it was ugly. I saw more glimpses of the old Kings last game when Malik Monk was out there. Malik was out there pushing the pace right when he came into the game. He got in the 2-man game with Sabonis. And it was beautiful. He did it again. Then when he comes to pushing, everyone wants to run with him because he creates shit. Like, he's going to push hard, collapse the defense, and sprout for threes. And if he's attacking and you're running with him, he'll dish it off to Alex Len or Sabonis, whatever big's in there for a jam. He gets people involved. 19
free throw attempts. I mean, you look at that alone in that last game and just how aggressive he was being, not only just looking for his, he had the ability to find his and find his teammates. And I think that's what you love and trust about a guy like this. But you're exactly right. Like, Keegan's just got to make sure to follow and allow that energy to kind of be contagious for him as well. And if he's not doing anything on the offensive end, make sure you're helping out, slowing down, what's his name? SGA. Make sure you're slowing down Jalen Williams, anyone that you are defending, but also being in that second line of defense and helping, because I think that is where we could see this team like hang their heads and that body language go back down if they're not getting the necessary stops on defense.
Yeah, and they have got some shooting too, even off the bench. Isaiah Joe can get it going. Yes. Even Bertans has shown in the past. He's in the rotation right now. He can knock down the three. I think there's many people right now that are super down on the Kings because of how they've played recently, which I get, especially without De'Aaron Fox. I think this game's going to be more competitive than people realize. I think everyone thinks that OKC is going to come into Sacramento tonight and win by 20 points. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a good atmosphere.
Well, I need a good game because I have way more fun on Night Chat when there is a good game. So if we can make that happen, that'd be great.
So let us know in the comments, what are your predictions for tonight's game? Also, do you care about the in-season tournament? Are you excited about it? Also, note, we are live after every single Kings game. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. We'll see you tonight on Night Chat.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you